everyone, it's Chrissie and welcome back to the channel and welcome back to yet another apartment renovation. So yes, I do know that this is like, I think the 4th apartment speed build on the channel in a row. And I am really sorry about that. Usually I do try to space out my apartment renovations, or, you know, I try not to do similar builds like right back to back. But I've been having a lot of fun just rebuilding some of my really old apartments for my save files. So apartments that I did, you know, maybe in like 2017, 2018. I know there are a couple of apartments in my save that I did even before that. So yeah, there are a few that I really like. I really want to redo them, and I've just been having a lot of fun with that, and kind of going back to some of my older Sims that I created and kind of just, I guess, revamping them a little bit, giving them a little bit of a makeover, kind of like rediscovering the stories that I had set up for them, because honestly, at this point, I've been working on my save file for so long that there are definitely a couple of Sims and households and stuff that I've kind of just forgotten what I had in mind for them when I created them, because like I said, some of these Sims have been in my save since like 2017, and yeah, I never really wrote down like their stories or anything like that. So it's kind of been fun to just go back and kind of like rediscover the Sims that I had that were already here and that kind of just need a little bit of a facelift. And obviously, you know, some of their houses and apartments and stuff also need a little bit of a facelift. So yeah, I've just been having a lot of fun with that, and like I said, going back, redoing some older apartments, because yeah, I haven't done an apartment build in a while. You know, before I started off on this whole like apartment building kick, I guess, I kind of took a little break from apartments. So yeah, coming back to them and just like focusing on decorating and everything like that has been a lot of fun. But yeah, so moving on to the apartment that we're actually working on today. We're actually building in Culpepper house. This is the 18 Culpepper house apartment in the Spice district. And this apartment is not really for a bachelor Sim because he is in a relationship, but he lives alone. So I'm just gonna, it's not really a bachelor apartment because he's not married or anything, but he does have a girlfriend. And I'll talk a little bit about that in just a second. But I'll put a picture of the Sim on the screen for you guys so that you guys can know who I'm talking about. His name is Darian Clifford, and he's actually not a scientist, he's an astronaut. He's like really high up in the astronaut career. I think he's level 10. Honestly, in, you know, not the like space smuggler type thing, in the actual like astronaut. I think he's like I think he's an extraterrestrial explorer or something like that, if I'm remembering correctly. I know he's like level 10 in the astronaut career. He's like a big genius type thing. He's very smart. He has like more than one like university degree and everything like that. So yeah, he's really smart. He's really successful. And he kind of just lives in the Spice district in this apartment because he likes living in the city and he doesn't really spend too much time at home. He does work quite a lot, so he doesn't really need all that like much space. He doesn't have any pets or anything. So yeah, he lives in the Spice district. I think he kind of likes the, I don't know, I think he likes the vibe and the liveliness of the neighborhood. So yeah, we have Darian, and like I said, he's an astronaut. So I wanted the apartment to be like, I didn't want it to be like shabby chic or anything like that. It's very modern, very contemporary, and also kind of industrial as well, because that's kind of just his style. And then I also end up decorating the apartment with a couple of those like big space prints that you can get from, I think, the observatory. So yeah, I do use a couple of those throughout the apartment, and a couple of just clutter items and stuff like that that have a little bit of like a gamer spacey type feel to me, or like sciencey feel to me. I tried not to go too overboard with clutter and with like collectibles and stuff, because I don't know, I didn't feel like that would be him. He would have clutter. He's not the neatest Sim. So there are a couple of coffee cups, you know, around the apartment, you know, at his desk, by his bed, you know, in the living room, stuff like that. But he's not really like, he's not messy, but he's like he doesn't really like always take stuff back where it belongs immediately, if that makes sense. So basically he's a guy. So yeah, he's basically a guy. He's basically a single guy that lives alone, that doesn't really need to pay too much attention to having everything, you know, in its right place all of the time. So yeah, I didn't want to go too overboard with clutter. I didn't want to make it too like cluttered and kind of just too much. I have a problem with making stuff like too much whenever I build and not knowing when to stop cluttering. So I really try to pay attention to that and not to make this, you know, like I said, too much. But I had a lot of fun with this apartment. I had a lot of fun using the everyday clutter kit that we got, because a lot of the items from that kit were just perfect for something like this. So you'll notice you have obviously the coffee cups that I placed around that I mentioned. You have his phone on the coffee table with his keys, and you know, in the kitchen on the island we have a little like notebook or like sticky notes and some pens. And I also used a ton of that kit in the office as well. So this apartment is technically 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom, but one of the bedrooms, the smaller one, is actually what I turned into his office. So it has a really big desk. I actually ended up using a dining table, like a 3-tile dining table as a desk, and then he has the big curved monitor set up from high school years. So he has that computer. And then also in the office, there's a punching bag and a small bookcase and, you know, just a random clutter stuff. So I did end up cluttering up the desk a lot. You'll see that once we get into the office properly. But yeah, I ended up cluttering up the desk a lot. I used a lot of stuff from the like everyday clutter kit. And then I also used a lot of stuff from high school years, surprisingly, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. I used a couple of things from high school years. I used, I think, 1 or 2 things from Discover University as well. But most of the stuff like that I used as clutter in his office is all from the everyday clutter kit. And I love that kit so much. Honestly, if you guys ever download any of my builds, like from here on out, you'll probably need that kit, because I'm going to use it in every single build. Like, there's no way that I'm going to be able to like stay away from the clutter in that, just because a lot of the stuff in that kit is just so versatile and stuff that you would have in like every house. I mean, like coffee cups, for example, or, you know, a phone and keys and like glasses and stuff. It's so good. I love that kit. I know I keep rambling about the kit, but honestly, I love it. And it's stuff that I have been wanting in the game forever. As a builder, it's one of those things where I always like wanted The Sims to have it, and now we finally do. So that's great. But yeah, so like I said, I ended up cluttering up his desk quite a lot. And then there are a couple of clutter pieces in the living room, like I said, and like you guys probably already saw, but the rest of the house is fairly tidy. So like I said, didn't want to go too overboard. The most cluttered part is definitely his office. And then his bedroom is actually fairly like clutter free, because honestly, I figured, you know, he doesn't spend a lot of time in his bedroom. I did end up putting the like rolled up yoga mat that came from the clutter kit. I ended up putting that in his bedroom along with the little basket of like workout equipment and stuff. So maybe the only thing that he does in his bedroom is like sleep, get dressed, and maybe he does yoga. Maybe he like unrolls a yoga mat in the space at the foot of the bed or something and then does some yoga there, because he is fairly into, obviously, you know, like fitness, taking care of himself, taking care of his body, because he is an astronaut. So he is fairly like health conscious, I guess you could say, and he kind of like needs to be for his job. So yeah, he does that. He's also quite like into cooking as well, so I wanted to make sure that there's quite a nice kitchen in the apartment as well. And yeah, that's basically everything about the apartment. It is up on the gallery if you guys want to go ahead and download it. It's completely custom content free. I'll have it uploaded as probably like Astronaut's apartment or something like that. And then you'll just have to replace some of the deleted walls that you'll see throughout the apartment. But yeah, it's completely custom content free, like I said. It does use a ton of different packs, but honestly, if I ever do a build for my save file, then you should just know that it's not going to be pack restricted. I don't pack restrict builds for my save, because that's just, for me, it's not the point of my save file. I'm trying to make the save file and turn it into something where, like, basically I want all of the packs to kind of like integrate with each other and work together. So that's why I don't pack restrict anything in my save. But yeah, it is up on the gallery. I'll have all of the download information, gallery links, gallery IDs, all of that stuff in the description. It ended up being just under 74,000 simoleons, so it is quite expensive, especially for an apartment, because it's only like a 2-bedroom-ish, like, I'm gonna say like 2-bedroom, but it's a 2-bedroom apartment, and it's only for 1 sim. It is very expensive, but honestly, like I said, he's really high up in the career, and he probably has the money. I mean, if you think about it, he would probably definitely have the money. So yeah, I didn't really pay attention to that either, like budget restrictions. But yeah, so to tell you guys a little bit more about Darian, he is, like I said, astronaut. He's really smart. I think he's like has the genius trait and everything like that. He has a couple of degrees from Foxbury. I think he has like a physics and a computer science degree, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, he's also, like I said, he isn't single. He is actually dating someone, but it's still like fairly-ish new. So basically, because he is so smart, he's used to like being the smartest person in like any given room. Think like Dr. Reed, like Spencer Reed vibes from Criminal Minds. Basically, he's like used to being the smartest person in every room. But, you know, especially when it comes to like space stuff and science stuff. But then he met Penthesilea Knox, and she's actually an alien, but he doesn't know that. She's actually a scientist. I'm actually working on an apartment for her as well. That is another rebuild of an old apartment, so you guys will see that on the channel probably at some point. But anyway, so he met Penthesilea, and she actually, like, she knows stuff about space, about science and stuff like that, that he never thought would be possible. So they became really quick friends, and they actually ended up falling in love, and they're dating now. But she never talks about her like family or her past or anything like that. And she does have a past. She is an alien. So she's an alien living in San Myshuno, and not like no one knows that she's an alien apart from other aliens, obviously. But yeah, so she never talks about her past or, you know, her family or anything like that. And he has noticed that, but he's trying not to like pry and like ask her about it all the time. But he's hoping that at some point she'll like open up about it. But yeah, so they're really like, they love each other. They're very close, and they started dating, like officially dating recently. And she's even encouraged Darian to get back in touch with his estranged sister. So he does have a younger sister that's going to be living in Windenburg. And they haven't talked in years. And recently, Penthesilea encouraged him to start talking to his sister again and kind of try and mend fences with her. But I'll talk a little bit more about that story whenever I get to doing his sister's house and stuff like that. But yeah, so this build is almost over. I'm gonna wrap it up. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give the video a like, hit the subscribe button if you want to see more Sims content, and turn on notification bell as well to be notified of whenever I upload a new video. I hope you're all having a great week, and I'll talk to you in my very next video. Bye everyone.
This is 27. It doesn't matter what I've been through. I should grow up too, but I still act like I'm 11. I'm not emotionally sound since I left you. And no, I don't like to be the bad guy. I won't be surprised if I'm the last one now. But I had you where I wanted you, never had to ask. I'd set the world on fire just to get it back. I don't know how it feels to be someone you love, and it gets me down, down, down. Yeah, I had you where I wanted you, never had to ask. I'd set the world on fire just to get it back. Don't know how it feels to be someone you love, and it gets me down. I let it slip somehow. This is 27. Start the